Hey guys, it's Danny. We just wrapped up a Facebook Live where I shared our family's go-to green smoothie. This one is great for kids and adults, so I wanted to make sure that you guys had the recipe as well. Enjoy. And we're live. Hello, everybody. We are coming at you live today, Thursday, live at 5. Normally, we do our Facebook Live Fridays, but unfortunately, we could not make it tomorrow, so we are jumping in today. So hopefully some of you guys will be able to jump in and join us. So I thought I would share with you guys our go-to family-friendly green smoothie. This is ultimately a smoothie that tastes like ice cream, and you get to get some greens into your kids or yourself, okay? So I thought I would just build this and show you how I do it. This is gonna be one of those types of smoothies is once you have these ingredients on hand and you kind of have them as staples, the whole thing goes really fast. So let me pull up my Facebook page so I can see who's coming on. As always, guys, as you join in, please come on down to the comments below, say hello, and let me know where you're watching from. Let's not move around so much. I'm gonna give everybody a little.
Well, they can just stare at you while you're looking down at your phone.
No, but I'm just saying, I'm looking out for the people.
All right.
Okay.
So what's there?
Okay. Woo! Get excited when I saw what you're making. Awesome, Allie. Thanks for joining. Hello, Brenda. Okay. So I'm gonna just jump in my freezer and get my frozen fruit, and then we're gonna jump right into this smoothie. Now, if I've told you this, we've talked about this before, I think the key to an amazing smoothie is frozen banana. It makes it so creamy. If you cannot do banana, frozen mango also creates a very creamy effect. If for some reason you can't do either of those, avocado. Avocado also gives you that nice creamy texture, okay? It's all about texture and taste, right? So what I always do is I start with some almond milk. You could do any milk you want. You could do dairy milk, you know, whatever milk turns you on, really, okay? But I have an unsweetened almond milk, and I do about a cup of it. Now, I don't usually measure, but I'm gonna try so I can give you guys some measurements. Then what I do is I take my greens, and in this case, I'm using baby spinach. Sometimes I'll do kale. You can really do any type of tender, sweet baby green that you have. And here's my little trick. So you take a big old handful of that, right? And then you put it on your blender, and I blend it with the milk. So it basically turns into green milk, but this makes it so that there's less chunks later on. So if you're giving this to kids, great tip to have in your back pocket. So let me blend that up. Whoops, let's plug it in first. How did we forget to do that? Da-dun, da-dun. All right, get this guy plugged in. Okay, and now we'll blend it up. All right, so milk, greens, blend. What's happening?
Wrong side. Yeah.
All right. That's okay. Check out my phone. We got Brooklyn in the house. Hey, Jennifer, Mary, Heather, Amy from Australia, Puerto Rico. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining in. Okay. So this is what I do in the morning. I'll go, okay, I get my milk, we put the greens in there, you blend them together, so you have like a green milk. This is just a great way to break the greens down before adding the rest of the ingredients. And then our kind of go-to concoction is I take my frozen bananas, and as you guys know, I always have frozen bananas in the freezer because they make great smoothies, and I also love to make banana ice cream with them. So you take about a half of a frozen banana. All of these measurements are kind of loosey-goosey, so you could do a little more or a little less, like if you wanted it extra creamy. Okay. And then I usually will do some strawberries or some type of berry. Today I have raspberries. And again, we're going for about a half a cup to a cup. I have on my website that smoothie formula, guys. If you register for my newsletter, it gets emailed to you. But it's basically my basic measurements for my smoothies. What I like about it is it's like a blueprint, so you can change as you go. And the last thing I'll say is if I'm making this too thick, which I kind of think I might be, it's not a big deal, because if your smoothie's too thick, you add a little extra liquid and vice versa. But I do like it to be really thick and creamy because I like it to kind of be like ice cream, and so do my kids. A lot of times their smoothie in the morning, they have it with a spoon. Okay, then the next thing I do is a little bit of protein powder. Now, if it's for the kids, I usually do about a half a scoop. And even for myself, I'll do a half a scoop unless I've done some type of workout and I'm really trying to get like a good hit of protein in. Just depends on what the goal is and where I'm at, right? So I am using about a half a scoop of vanilla whey protein. There's different brands of protein powders I like, but I will say, from a flavor perspective, I like the whey protein purely from a flavor perspective. You can do a plant-based protein, 100%. I actually took this one out, the Vital Proteins. This is a brand. Oh no, this is whey too. The Vega is a plant-based brand. Sun Warrior is another plant-based brand. So if you want to stay away from the whey, you could look into those, okay? Then, have you guys seen this before? It's called Kids Superfood. It's amazing grass. So it's got all of these powerful greens in there, but it has a chocolate flavor. So just to give you an idea of what's gonna be going in here, it's wheatgrass, beets, sweet potatoes, yellow squash, tomatoes, purple grapes, blueberries, apricots, pomegranate, and that didn't even name half of them, okay? So I take 1 scoop of this, heaping scoop usually, and then I pop that in there, and that's the base of the smoothie. But because my children are addicted to chocolate, mostly my daughter, I usually then take cocoa powder, unsweetened cocoa powder, and add like an extra tablespoon, because what that does is it gives this all a really rich chocolatey look and flavor, and so they don't really know much of anything else that's happening. So if you guys have somebody in your world or your life that you want to get to have more green smoothies or shakes like this, but they're like freaked out by the color, or they think they don't want a green smoothie, add some cocoa powder because it changes the color and it gives it a chocolatey flavor so they don't know what's happening. Okay, so let's put this on here and blend it up. Let's see if we need more liquid.
You can do that?
I'm going to talk about that in a second. Get that get started. Looks like the jams up a little bit going. We have Diane. Hello, Diane. Mary. Are they safe for 18-month-olds? Absolutely. I've never... Oh. My husband said it's too loud. Here we go. Now, this is a little on the thick side, and I could easily add more liquid to thin it out and would blend a lot faster, but I really like it to be thick, so you just go in there and give it a little extra help. And then you pull out your spoon and you be like, oh, tester. OM to the J. All right, one more blend up and then we're gonna pour this. Okay, guys. Now let's check it out. It looks like black raspberry, right? Wouldn't you say that's kind of like what the color is like? So this has like a chocolate berry flavor to it. You would have not taste the greens at all. And remember, technically it's getting a double dose of greens because that amazing grass has all those greens and we put in that big, huge handful of spinach, right? So let's give it a little tester. Look at the texture. Did you see the texture? See how thick it is? Very kid-friendly. And very adult-friendly. This is so good and so easy. So this is a perfect example. Of course, you have to plan ahead in the sense that you have to have frozen fruit on hand. You have to have some protein powder and some type of liquid. But once you have those things in your staples, as your staples, you could make this any day of the week in like 2 minutes and you have this beautiful, nutritious, clean, and delicious breakfast ready to go. Also a great snack. So let's take one quick second to see if there's any questions or comments. Trina, I've used your smoothie formula, super helpful. Oh good, I'm so happy to hear that. Guys, anybody can get that smoothie formula if you go to my website, cleananddelicious.com, which we were supposed to launch a new design today, but we had a few hiccups, so it's gonna be a few more days. But if you put your email in there to be on the newsletter list, you get that free download for free. And you can hang it on your fridge and use it as a friendly reminder whenever you're making smoothies at home. Danielle, thank you. I'm so excited that you caught the live video. Does it have dairy? Well, technically it does have dairy, Jennifer, because I used whey protein powder. But if you choose a plant-based protein powder, then it would be dairy-free. An almond milk, use an almond milk, and the plant-based protein powder, and you could totally do this dairy-free. Okay? Hey, Sagi, thank you for joining. Okay, all right, so I think that's it, guys. This This
The 18-month one, did you see that one?
What?
The 18-month?
I answered that, yes.
Oh.
18-month is totally safe. My kids, I always make these for my kids when they were little. And they loved them because they always thought they were having breakfast, ice cream for breakfast. And they still do that. So, short and sweet. Guys, give this one a try. Let me know what you think of it. We will be back next week on Friday. So we'll be sticking to Facebook Live Fridays. The only reason we did today was because our schedule got a little hiccup, okay? So thank you so much for joining. I'll see you guys soon, okay? Cheers. I love this thing.